Jesus Christ, this is horrible. My name is Christina, and I have to make fried rice for my Asian final project. Thank you, Chef Wong, for making me do this. This is a challenge. It's supposed to be hot as fuck because this should be a wok, but guess what? It's not. It's not a wok. So we're gonna make it hot. And vegetable oil. I feel like I said that weird, but I probably didn't. But it's just the fear of being recorded because who doesn't hate being recorded? I set the electric stove to high because this should be a wok, and it's not. So we're gonna get it as hot as we can. And then we're going to scramble some egg. Look at the prep. Look how pretty the prep is. Oh, Chef Wong, don't look at the knife cuts. Thank you. Don't look at them. I left my kid at school. Okay. I'm not YouTube ready. I can't wait to see everyone else's fried rice video. I feel like I'll feel better about my life afterwards. Pan's a little hot. Not really. It was depressing. Oh man, that's a little hot, but it's not hot enough for it to matter. You have to partially scramble the eggs. She made this very clear.
And why do you partially scramble the eggs?
I don't know, I figure so they're not overcooked once you're actually putting them somewhere else. I was afraid they were going to stick, so there's more oil in this pan than there needs to be. Because I was scared, if I'm being completely honest. She said 75%. That's how cooked this should be. And I feel like we just hit 75%. You set them aside for later because Chef Wong said so. And I'm sure somewhere in China somebody knows the real reason. But I don't. I just know that Chef Wong told me to. And I did what she says. So we're putting it back on. Now we're going to cook the meats because they need to be cooked through before you can do anything else. So I'm trying to get the pan hot, which it seems like it's actually succeeding for once.
And what kind of meat is that?
This is chicken. And there's still vegetable oil left in here from before. I cubed it before, so it's all roughly the same size. To promote even cooking. Now Chef said to cook the chicken through, but it doesn't have to have color. Which, I mean, makes it almost like a BuzzFeed video. Seeing as they literally never brown anything. Ever. Ever. This is voyeuristic and weird. For the record, YouTube.
So tell me about the other ingredients you have here.
Well, I also have some shrimp that's been deveined and butterflied and cut nice so it'll cook up pretty. And then I've also got some carrots that I blanched and peas that blanch, as well as mushrooms that are fresh. They'll be fine. We're just trying to get the chicken fully cooked without being brown or dry, because no one wants dry cooked chicken.
And what about the rice?
The rice I cooked yesterday so that it would be good for today. You never want to use fresh rice and fried rice. The rice is too wet. So you cook it the day before, put it in the fridge, and you're fine. Leftover rice is actually really good. Like if you ordered Chinese and you just have white rice left and you didn't know what to do with it, now you do. Save it and then make fried rice. Because this dish is super cheap and it stretches forever. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the shrimp. You're just gonna cook it till it's pink, but not too pink. You don't want it too done, because then it'll be rubbery when you're done with the whole dish. I'm not gonna lie, it smells good already. And there's literally no seasoning even happening yet. But I kind of already want to eat it. I think that's the plus side. Add oil. Add a little more if you need to. I did. So I did. Don't burn it. Literally, it's like about it. Don't burn it. Don't overcook it. Because nobody wants to eat rubber.
And how do you know when to add more oil?
When it starts to stick a little too much on the pan. They should look happy and glossy. Like a bride on her wedding day under lights. Now I didn't pre-cook my mushrooms, so I'm going to actually put them in now and then take them out. So they're actually going to be done later. I am poor, so therefore I used white button mushrooms. But I mean, feeling fancy, you could do shiitakes. Do portobellos if you have that in your fridge. This is like the quintessential I'm hungover and hungry dish. Basically. I feel bad. I shrimp it down and I feel like I should pick it up, but I'm denying myself that joy of cleaning. You want them to be cooked but not fully cooked all the way through to the point where they are not feasible to eat anymore. You want them done, but not mush. Got some color on them without meaning to, but it's okay. They're allowed to have some color on them. Let's turn this down a little. Okay, we're going to add a little more oil because that's the theme of this video apparently. We're gonna pull our rice out. The pan's getting back up to temp. Now you can actually feel the difference. It's like when you buy sushi and you try to keep it overnight and then you realize you can't. It's like that.
So what should the rice feel like?
Kind of dry. You'll feel it. You'll feel the difference. It's the difference between I just got this rice out of the cooker and this shit is a little dry. So a little clump. Unclump it a little here and there. Don't be afraid to add oil. They do love oil in authentic Chinese. We remarked on that a few times in class. So that way it's not going to burn. Just try not to make a huge mess. It might not bother you, but making a huge mess bothers me. Really bothers me. Now you get to start adding things back in. Like, throw in your mushrooms.
Now can you throw all of it in at the same time, or?
Probably try to do a little at once, a little at a time, so that you have time to incorporate it. Because nothing's worse than like unflavored globs. I'm gonna throw in some of the chicken. You don't have to do all of it at once. That you put. Use your judgment. If it looks like you're gonna overload your pan, then you should probably not put the rest of that in there, huh?
Makes sense to me.
Throw in some of the shrimp. No one wants dry ass rice. Unless you were just starting to cook this, then yes, you do want dry ass rice. Some of the veg. Now here's the part cooked carrot that we had earlier. Some of the peas.
So for those that don't know at home, what is it that you do to the peas and carrots before you put them in the pan?
Onion, you blanch it. You take boiling salted water, salty like the sea. We're going to add our egg back in too while we're doing this. You take salted water, bring it up to a boil, and you cook the vegetables in it just a little till they're like almost done. And then you put them in cold, like ice water after. It helps them keep their shape, their texture, and their color. It helps keeps the integrity of the vegetable.
But you could use frozen vegetables if you wanted to, right?
You can. And these peas actually were frozen, so I blanched them beforehand to bring them up to temp for this dish. Okay, this looks fucking delicious. Weirdly enough. Surprised. Considering it wasn't a wok. Okay, now you season. Now, I have some sea salt here, some kosher salt. Never use soy, sweet Jesus.
Why not?
Some sugar, it's just not traditional. Every time you put soy on white rice, a small Chinese lady cringes in her home. And then soy, sesame oil. Maybe sesame oil to season.
So
You add a little
salt,
and then you
sugar,
taste.
and sesame oil.
Yep, salt, sugar, and sesame oil is how you season. And you should, I know you can smell the sesame oil, but if you were making this, you'd be like, yes, because the sesame oil smells so good. You just want to make sure all of it's fully incorporated. I feel as if I'm making a mess. Hopefully everyone out there watching doesn't feel the same way. Yeah. I should have switched to, I don't know, a spoon. Something more logical to be scooping this onto a plate, you know. Who's going to use logic? Nobody. And then we save some of the green onion for garnish. You could even toast sesame seeds and put it on top if you want to, because it would be an appropriate garnish for this. I'm a sweaty mess right now. Here it is. This is it. This is Chinese fried rice with shrimp and chicken. Please don't fail me, Chef Wong. I need this grade. Happy Hanukkah.